You just got your first Quest 2 headset. Congratulations! You wanted to be more excited, but now you're eating ramen for the next couple weeks because you spent everything you had to get into the virtual reality world. What if you don't have enough cash left to buy new games? Whatever shall you do? Don't worry friends, I'm here to help. Forrest here, and today's video is going to be going over 10 of my favorite Quest 2 games that you may not have heard of and are absolutely free to download. I hope you'll enjoy some of these games, and if you do, I'll be making more videos like this in the future, so stay tuned. Alright, let's get started. Do you want to play basketball but don't have access to a court? Well, Blacktop Hoops has you covered. Available on the Oculus Quest app, this game is the most fun basketball VR game I have ever played. In fact, it may be the only VR basketball game I've played so far. The mechanics work fantastically, visuals are impressive, and the game is honestly a ton of fun. You're basically playing an arcade-style version of street basketball, complete with all the nostalgic 90s vibes you were hoping for. You are able to play with other real players, and there is something really satisfying about dunking on somebody in VR. If you like hitting nothing but net, put Blacktop Hoops on your list of free games to download. Do you guys like to gamble but don't have money to blow? Makes sense being that you spent it all on your Quest 2. That's why you're watching this video, right? Well, the good news is I've got the answer for that. PokerStars is a VR environment that lets you play poker, blackjack, roulette, slots, craps, and a ton of your other favorite casino-style games. You can study your opponents and pick up their tells in real time, handle your chips and cards just like you would in real life, and of course chat with other players. You can add in interactive props and toys too, so this makes for a really entertaining time. Go all in on this game, guys. It's free and can be found on the MetaQuest library. Pavlov is one of the bigger PC VR games out there and is popular with a ton of the VR community. Don't worry though, if you don't own a PC yet, you can get this version of the game and it's completely free on the Oculus App Lab. If you aren't already familiar with Pavlov, it's a multiplayer first-person shooter that features a ton of different weapons and maps and modes. You can do 5 vs 5 shootouts or even do the co-op zombie modes like Call of Duty, whatever tickles your fancy. If you're into multiplayer military-based games, I see no reason why Pavlov Shack Beta wouldn't be in your library. If you guys are a fan of Beat Saber type games, this one is a fantastic free game that you should check out. One of the coolest features about this game is that you don't even have to download it directly to your Quest. All you have to do to play it is open up your Oculus browser while wearing your headset, go to www.moonrider.xyz, and just click the Enter VR button on the lower right-hand side of your screen to start the game. It's literally as simple as that. Moonrider already has some cool custom soundtracks to play with, and most of the maps are pretty similar to Beat Saber as well, which is really cool. Yes, the graphics aren't as flashy or polished, but at a $0 price tag, can you really complain? For anybody who's big into the Backrooms lore, which seems to be getting really popular these days, NoClip is an excellent free co-op game to satisfy your addiction. So far, the game is composed of 3 levels and features some of your favorite entities that constantly try to hunt you down while you're trying to escape to the next floor. The graphics are good, and I didn't really encounter any bugs while I played either. The things I really enjoyed about this game are the proximity chat feature and the fact that you're able to move faster by flailing your arms around as crazy as possible. You really don't know how funny this looks until somebody records you playing, and I think it helps the game not be quite as scary. You can find NoClip on the App Lab store. The Midnight Club series were some of my favorite racing games back when I owned a PS2, so if you're like me and loved racing games, Lit is definitely a game you should check out. Like most street racing games, there are multiple cars to choose from, and you're able to add parts and customize it to your preference. The graphics are really good, and it's an open world game so you can drive anywhere. I also love the fact you can play with other people, so racing is much more exciting. There are a few bugs that the developers need to work out, but this is a great free game for any gearheads out there. Lit can be found on SideQuest, so if you're unfamiliar with what that is, I'll leave a link to SideQuest in the description below. If you like first-person shooters, especially competitive multiplayer shooters, Gunraiders is definitely one of the top free games I've found so far. Chat with your friends while you mow down your enemies in multiple game modes while using a wide selection of weapons while flying through the air with your jetpack or climbing from wall to wall. If I had to compare this game, I'd say the closest match for something like this would be along the lines of Population 1, where you can also use a windsuit to fly and can climb buildings in various landscape. There are multiple game modes available as well as tons of weapons you can use, so you're going to find yourself wanting to come back and play this game again and again. Gunraiders can also be found on SideQuest. I'm adding Crawlspace on this list because if you enjoy getting the living crap scared out of you, this has to be one of the best free games available to accomplish this. I personally made the mistake of diving right in and thinking it wouldn't be so bad, and I was terribly wrong. The game basically has you crawling around underneath the house while looking for missing dolls that you have to bring up to your room, and it wouldn't be so bad if there weren't a gang of murderous mannequins trying to prevent you from doing so. I think this game is going to be excellent for showing your Quest 2 off to your unsuspecting house guests, because if you're anything like me, there is nothing better than terrorizing your friends. All in good fun, of course. It's free, so I'm going to let you guys decide for yourself. Look for it on SideQuest. If you could be a superhero in VR, would you rather be Iron Man or Spider-Man? Well, how about both? Vertical Shift is a free game based on a futuristic city where you move by using your hand thrusters like Iron Man, but can also move using your laser grapplers much like Spider-Man. We finally get the best of both worlds. It is multiplayer, and some of the game modes includes freeze tag, capture the flag, deathmatch, and even some time trials mode. It does take a little time to get used to the gameplay mechanics, but once you do, the experience is extremely satisfying. Vertical Shift can be found on the Oculus App Store, for free. Alright, and that's going to wrap up some of my favorite free Quest 2 games so far. If you guys have any favorite free Quest 2 games that I should check out, I'd love to hear about them, so please leave them in the comments section below. Also, if this video was helpful to you and you'd like to see more, please give me a like and subscribe because I love making these videos for you guys. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next one.